Hello again, everyone. Welcome to my reflection to chapter 110 of Seraph of the End. So yeah, from now on I've decided to split out the reactions and reflections on the monthly chapter releases for Seraph of the End, simply because I think some people prefer the off-the-cuff reactions and some people like my whole rambly analysis. So yeah, you guys can pick and choose what you want to watch, preferably both. Variety is the spice of life and all of that. If you haven't yet seen the reaction, I will be linking that in the description below so you can go and check that out. I will definitely be a bit calmer in this reflection compared to the initial reaction, but I will still be dropping the old F-bomb from time to time because it's still me speaking. So just be mindful of that. If it's not your cup of tea, then this is not the video for you. So without further ado, please pull up a chair, make yourselves comfortable, pour yourself a good old cup of tea, and let's get into this reflection. So we didn't learn anything new about the great plan of bullshit. You and Mika's nature is still, fundamentally a mystery. We don't know still how world resurrection is supposed to happen in Gurren's plan. It's kind of been hinted that he's going to do something bad again to you specifically. We had whole Shina was foreshadowing of, if you hurt Yuichiro, I'll never forgive you, Mahiru. And we know that obviously Gurren is in Mahiru's pocket. So I don't have a good feeling about Yu's fate in Gurren's plan of world resurrection. So let's see. It's also been hinted that the architect of the great plan of bullshit is Mahiru based on this chapter because, we see her in the past watching Mika and Yu. The really strange thing about this whole plan from Mahiru is that apparently she doesn't know exactly what Yu and Mika are either based on her last line in that chapter. That could have been a lie, actually. So Mahiru could be lying to them, pretending, I'm on your side, we're all going to figure this out together. She could actually just be bullshitting them because she already knows what they are. So that's an option that could explain that. So the great plan of bullshit remains a nebulous mystery. And I'm not going to stretch my brain trying to solve it. I'm just, throwing questions out there and trying to take stock of where we are and what has actually been revealed for sure. So this is where we are at the moment, guys. The next thing to ponder about then, the state of Mika's memories. So Mika's memories seem to be dependent on you. Mika has confirmed that his memories are mixed up in his head. He's confirmed that he only gets some memories as a result of eating some of Yu's desires. So it's a dependent relationship. So Mika doesn't have his own independent memories. It comes from when he devours Yu's desires, therefore he gets the memories as a result. And that's kind of also supported with, I think it was 109, when we see Mika eating Yu's memories and he sees the same scene, but it's flipped from his own perspective. So it's almost like Mika can only remember what Yu remembers, but then it's flipped in his head so that he sees his own perspective of the same memory. That's kind of the impression that I'm getting from this chapter. The other interesting thing is that it's established here that Yu can hide memories from Mika if he just raises the walls of his heart so that Mika can't see in. That's interesting because you could be hiding all sorts of things from Mika and Mika might have to try and work to bring those walls down. I mentioned in the reaction that you could be hiding the fact that Gurren sliced Mika in half. And by the way, he definitely did slice Mika in half. Mika did not cut himself. When you actually study the panels, it's really clear that it was Gurren that cuts Mika. Gurren is standing over Mika in a very threatening way, and then you see the sword come down. It's obvious Gurren definitely cut Mika in two, and at the same time Mika was preparing for a death blow, I'm about to die, I'm going to take you out with me. It was that kind of fight. To support the fact that I think that Yu could be deliberately hiding stuff from Mika, he's tried it before. He's tried it before where Gurren is concerned. Do you remember there was that kind of joking scene back in 50 or 60 something? Back when Gurren says that he needs to undertake the Seraph training with Yu and it could be dangerous to him. It could hurt Yu physically and Yu doesn't want Mika to worry about him. So what does he say to Gurren? He says, by the way, Gurren, could you not tell Mika? And of course it fails because Mika is standing right behind him because he's Mika's wife. But my point is that Yu has a previous record here of lying to Mika in order to protect his feelings, i.e. Gurren is my daddy, but Gurren also killed my boyfriend. Oh shit, that doesn't make sense. Better keep that one under wraps from said boyfriend, because that might be a bit fucking awkward to resolve. There is one thing though that's been playing on my mind massively about whether Mika remembers Gurren killing him or not, because the fact that we haven't been shown that really suggests to me that he doesn't remember it for all the reasons I've laid out. But there's one thing that really bothers me that could suggest the opposite, and that he does remember it and we just haven't been shown it because of crap storytelling. And that is because Mika hasn't yet questioned how he became a demon. We know now from his interactions with Cruel that he remembers being a vampire. So at some point he's had to turn from a vampire into a demon. And Mika doesn't question that. Like, oh, by the way, Cruel, how did I end up as a demon in the end? So wouldn't you be asking that if you were Mika and you didn't have that memory? You'd be asking, how the fuck did this happen? So yeah, that suggests that he might actually remember that Gurren did what he did. And if we haven't been shown that and he does remember it, that is terrible storytelling. It's god-awful storytelling, because that should have been the very first thing that Mika was shown to be remembering about Gurren when he was doing that whole assessment of him with Yu's memories in chapter 108, or in 109, sorry. Like, we should have been shown Mika weighing up all of the things he knows about Gurren, like the fact that, you know, he fucking killed him. If he does remember, I'm hoping that he doesn't remember, because that makes more sense from a storytelling perspective. But if he does remember, then that's pretty shocking writing. Oh yeah, that reminds me. So in the reaction that I did, I sort of was annoyed at the fact that Mika was asking Cruel what she wanted out of the Great Plan of Bullshit, and I thought, well, hang on, hasn't Cruel already told Mika what it is that she wants, you know, back in the day when she did the whole whisper? But that might actually be explained if Mika doesn't have independent memories still, like if all of his memories are actually like his point of view of Yu's memories, like they're shared memories, and he doesn't have his own back at all. That would explain it more, but I don't know, I'm not confident on the consistency of this writing. I'm leaning towards the fact that the whole whisper thing was just bullshit at the time, and it's been completely forgotten about, if I'm quite honest. The next point then, Shina. Yeah, not sure how to feel about this. I don't think that this was meant to be at all a win for yuunoa in this chapter. This seemed more of a confirmation that Yu doesn't hold the same feelings towards her that she does towards him. But what I do find interesting and definitely debatable is how she feels about that, because she's shown to smile in this chapter and be like, oh, you know, I get it. As I suspected, you know, you don't have a clue about my feelings towards you. Oh, and by the way, that doesn't make sense because Shikama literally said to you at one point that Shinoa was in love with him, unless you just assumed that it was Shikama talking out of his arse to try and tempt Shinoa and to, you know, throw you off, and you just was like, yeah, you're a demon, I'm not going to listen to what you say. But he gave no reaction, so we've got no idea if he actually heard that line or not. Anyway, I digress. That smile kind of comes across a little bit like Yu's coping smile to me. And yeah, I mentioned in the chapter that I'm a little bit concerned that she could go off the rails if she kind of succumbs to resentment and desire in the same way that her sister gave in to her desire. It could leave Shinoa vulnerable to a mental breakdown. I was thinking also like it could result in Shikama maybe possessing Shinoa again. So let's see, because we need Shinoa to get some power back, damn it. Like, Shinoa's got no powers right now. She got no weapon. Like, come on. Somebody else made a very valid point on one of the Reddit discussions, and her smile could have just been a sort of, you know, you're clueless as always, you. And she's just kind of smiling at his naivety. I know that I did a bit of a deliberate overreach in my initial reaction when I said that Shinoa was giving up on her beloved and she was passing the torch to our darling Mika, to best boy. That shippy interpretation on my part was based on the fact that towards the end of the chapter she tells Mika that he needs to protect you, but actually if her smile is not kind of a pained realisation and it's just this kind of flippant, oh, you know, he's as clueless as always, I need to try harder to make him understand, then that changes the interpretation of that later line, because she could just be saying to Mika, you know, you are his demon, you are the one best placed to protect him. It's not a case where she's saying, I want you to protect him instead of me. It could have just been a reference to, you know, Mika generally doing his job, which is fair enough. She may not intend to give up, you know, she may well continue to pursue him, and, you know, she has every right to. And yeah, I think just to sort of close on this point, to all the people freaking out over the bridal carry, just try to relax a bit. Try to relax. Remember, these guys aren't real. I know that I think symbolically Mika and Yu mean a lot to people. I understand that. It definitely comes off, I think, to other people in the fandom that, you know, we're a little bit fucking insane. when everyone just kind of flips their shit prematurely. It's like, oh, fuck me, like the ship is sinking. I legitimately thought when I opened Twitter on my timeline that you had fucking like proposed to Shina or something. The reaction was that bad. I love to get on board with the shipping, you know I do. And it's all good fun. Of course, I want to see our boys together. But it's also a good idea to kind of, prepare for every kind of possibility in your head. So, for one thing, everyone could fucking die. Like, this is Seraph of the End. Everybody could die, or, one party in the triangle could die. And then, it's a moot point as to who ends up with who, right? You've also got the options where, Shina or Mika could give up on you. It could go either way, bear that in mind. Like, there are so many ways that this could go. We're not actually close to the end yet, I don't think. So there is still room for a realistic romance to develop between Shinoa and you. And I'm always kind of the opinion that, well, if you show me the evidence, if you present it, well, I'm open to changing my mind. It's just that at the moment, there's like a mountain of evidence on one side for mikayuu, and there's like a molehill on the other side for the yuunoa. I'm not saying that there is no evidence on the other side. I'm just saying, if we were in court trying to prove a case, I know which side I'd rather be on. But yes, I'm always open to changing my mind. So if it's well developed, if we get more evidence on the yuunoa side, then, I might jump ship. As I say, I like Shinoa. I feel bad for the girl. And I hope that she does find happiness in the end of the series, whatever that happiness involves. It all depends on writing quality at the end of the day. So yeah, to the mikayuu fans, the ship is still sailing smoothly. We can start worrying when we start seeing my Shinoa icebergs in the water. Then we can start thinking of abandoning ship, okay? But a bit premature right now, a bit premature. Oh, and, try to enjoy the plot as well, whatever the plot actually is at this point. I don't think anyone really knows. Even Kagami himself doesn't really know. But yeah, try to read for plot as well as the ships, because that's how you get the most enjoyment out of the series, right? And look on the bright side. If it ends with a yuunoa ending, we'll all go to therapy together. I'll provide the alcohol. It might cost me a lot because there's going to be quite a few of us, but at least we'll have a good time, right? Predictions for next chapter then. I don't know how much is going to be revealed about the great plan of BS. Bear in mind, Shikama is still in the bloody cage. We haven't gone back to him for a while now. Maybe Saito might finally interrogate Shikama. That would be good to know. I think we're definitely being set up for a Gurren betrayal though. The whole thing where he's just like, just get in the car. Just get in the car and don't ask questions. Just trust in me. Trust in me. I swear it'll all be fine, guys. Shinoa saying to Mahiru, don't hurt you. Yeah, we're being set up for bad stuff to happen to you and Mika, in my opinion, in order to enact this plan of world resurrection. So I'm wondering, is it now going to be like a race against time for Mika to uncover the truth in Yu's memories compared to Gurren and Ferid, enacting the plan? Who knows? Who knows? I really want to know Shikama's backstory. That is driving me insane. I'm so curious. I want to know all about ancient Greece. I want to know what the black sun things are in the sky, the blobs, Yeah, there's just so many questions, especially if there are like Mika clones hanging about somewhere in the past that I mentioned in the reaction. I want to know if both you and Mika have lived for 10,000 years, like what happened to the previous Mika experiments? I'm so curious and I want to know. I'm following that dollar bill on the string as it gets yanked ever further along the road. I'll be here till the bitter end. Those are my reflections on chapter 110 of Seraph of the End. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like, comment and subscribe if you're not already. And you can also connect with me on social media. I'll put the links in the description along with a link to my Patreon if you want to show me a bit of love on there. And with that, guys, you take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.